Well, joining me now live from Dharamshala is the Tibetan Prime Minister-in-exile, Dr. Lobsang Sangay. Dr. Sangay, we can see there China's aggressive language being used, strong warnings. India has said again and again, this is our internal matter, it's none of China's business. Do you agree, or do you feel that it's true that the whole engagement with the Dalai Lama and the Indian government has changed under Prime Minister Modi? Because that's what Beijing is terming a provocation.
One sense, no, because His Holiness Dalai Lama has visited Tawang and Arunachal Pradesh before. So, at the request of thousands of followers, Buddhist, His Holiness is visiting there to bless them. So, Tawang is simply making spiritual teachings to his followers. So, China is making mountain out of molehill and saying you are hurting the sentiments of the Chinese people. These are the usual drama or the rhetoric that they use. This time it's against India, but each time His Holiness meets with any global leaders, they do the same.
But do you feel, Dr. Sangay, this is interesting because you call it a religious visit, a spiritual visit, but the Dalai Lama has been sharply quite political. His statements really cutting to what hurts China the most by calling it authoritarian, etc. So the Dalai Lama isn't, in a sense, holding back on what he's saying either this time. I mean, usually he's much more a proponent of the middle way, but he's been quite strong during this visit.
No, it's true. The regime that is there in China is authoritarian, and there is lack of democracy, there is lack of freedom of speech, and if Chinese government really wants to demonstrate that there is democracy and freedom in Tibet with the Tibetan people, they should allow UN experts or international diplomats to visit Tibet freely and assess the situation and report to the international community. The fact that they don't allow these things to happen, the fact that they repress Tibetan people even now, clearly reflects that China is an authoritarian system and they are repressing the Tibetan people. So what His Holiness Dalai Lama is saying is right. But he is on a spiritual visit. When asked this question, he's simply answering the truth.
But Dr. Sangay, you said that, His Holiness has visited Tawang and Arunachal earlier. But what is true that when India and China ties were slightly better, that there was almost a sense that, senior government officials would not meet the Dalai Lama. He wasn't so in the political center stage as he is now. The junior Minister of State for Home met him. The Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister is accompanying him. So there does seem to be a marked shift in India policy. Are you happy with that?
No, we are happy in the sense, I know Kiren Rijiju is a friend, he's Buddhist, and Chief Minister Pema Khandu also, he's Buddhist. So for them to see His Holiness, it's not just a commitment like me, not only in this life, in their next life also. This is how we think. So there are also the followers who are very, faithful to His Holiness. So they are going there as a citizen or residents of Arunachal Pradesh to seek his blessing. So when China makes it political, so you have to respond. But at the same time, I must acknowledge that even His Excellency President Pranab Mukherjee hosted His Holiness Dalai Lama at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, and recently Culture Ministry of India organized an international Buddhist conference at Nalanda, where His Holiness Dalai Lama was the chief guest. So these are clear signs where things that were happening closed door before are done in the open. In that sense, this government is, just letting the facts be seen by the public. That's the difference. Otherwise, these things have happened before also.
Right, that's interesting. From closed door to open door. Dr. Lobsang Sangay, thank you very much for joining me tonight on that big story.